Government called on to beef up manpower and fix causes of ongoing breakouts. Government departments top creditors to PNG Power. And veteran journalist launches book about Bougainville War.
This is National EMTV News with Meriba Tulo.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. This is Sunday's news. The senior corrections officer who was issued a suspension notice as acting commander of the Bougainville prison has repeated calls for a perimeter fence and for authorities to provide funding to ease the overcrowding in Bougainville. Judy Tara was today served a suspension notice but pointed out that no formal appointment for a commander or acting commander was made since the previous commander took up a post in Port Moresby. She has, however, accepted the suspension as the senior officer responsible, but called on the government to beef up manpower and fix the causes for the ongoing prison breakouts.
With more than 60 prisoners still on the run, the Bougainville Prison Administration has come under fire from both the public and from headquarters. Today, Judy Tara, the senior officer who previously acted as commander on 7 occasions, was served a suspension notice. But there remains uncertainty over the commander's post. Tara says technically no official appointment was made for the commander's post since the last commander was moved to Port Moresby a few weeks ago, but she's accepted the suspension.
So my suspension takes effect as of today. I have made mention that I am the manager administration and not the commander, as I was never given an instrument to make my appointment as a commander here in this institution.
Suspension aside, Tara has again raised long-standing issues that contributed to the previous jailbreaks and the one on Thursday. A perimeter fence is needed. More staff are needed for the prison population of more than 700. Coincidentally, she had just finished discussions with the lay MP Lujaya Koza on Thursday about the funding for the perimeter fence when the jailbreak happened.
I have raised this issue over many times after various escapes that had happened, and also in the commanders' conference that I've attended.
An investigation report submitted to the Commissioner's office in 2015 after 2 successive prison escapes highlighted the problems again raised today. The key factors that contributed to the breakouts still have not been addressed. Scott Waide, National EMTV News, Ley.
Still in Ley, dozens of guard dog security men clashed with settlers at 10 Mile this morning after 6 members of the security firm were injured in an altercation with settlers last night. It is understood one guard was initially assaulted by a settler during nightly drop-off, and that triggered the string of events. Hours later, several passing guard dog vehicles were stoned, prompting staff to react. Nearby residents reported that the fighting last night took several hours before the situation was calmed. At about 6 o'clock this morning, clashes resumed. Guard Dog's General Manager, Peter Aiguilo, was at the scene this morning to contain his men. The clash comes on the back of a mass prison breakout on Thursday. At least 3 policemen were sent to the scene to help contain the fighting. Government departments are among the top creditors on PNG Power's list of institutions who have failed to pay their electricity bills. Acting Chief Executive Officer John Yanis says the disconnection notices will be sent accordingly, and he strongly maintains that failure to pay will result in disconnections.
The government departments say worse. They don't pay me.
PNG Power Limited continues to face issues surrounding its capacity, and consumers' failure to pay power bills on time is one. According to Mr. Yanis, government departments owe millions of kina on outstanding electricity bills.
The biggest organizations here, especially the government sector, they owe us a lot of money. And there will be disconnection notices going out. We will go and disconnect because they're not paying us.
PNG Power's profit centers are Port Moresby and Ramu, while smaller centers like Kavieng, Manus, Vanimo and WeWork generate less revenue. Mr. Yanis said that fuel cost is killing the company, with 250 to 300 million kina paid annually.
Anything that is left over, we try to manage as much as possible to try to do new works that can alleviate the problems that we are going through. So those are the issues that we are facing. to be more precise, like I need money. We really need cash and injection from the government to make sure that the money comes in, then we can improve.
To fully sustain its operations, Mr. Yanis says that PNG Power Limited needs 350 to 500 million kina from the national government budget.
As I'm speaking, I don't have the money to do anything. I can't even stretch. So that's a problem that I'm having. So I'm trying to juggle between what I can do and what I can maintain. So those are the issues that I'm facing right now. On the other hand, I don't have good customers.
Mr. Yanis says PNG Power Limited cannot operate on people's expectations if power bills are not paid. Fabian Hakalitz, National EMTV News.
The national government has allocated only 8 million kina for the TB emergency response plan. This was confirmed by Deputy Health Secretary Dr. Paisan Dakulala. These funds will cater for the target hotspots of Western and Gulf provinces and National Capital District.
Dr. Dakulala, at the recent health experts meeting in Port Moresby, said the national government has only allocated 8 million kina. This slice of funds was from the 40 million kina urgently needed for the TB emergency response plan. 17.7 million kina alone was for the multi and extensively drug-resistant TB in Daru Western Province, while the remaining for 2 hotspots and City and Gulf and other centers.
Kina is what's going to unfold, and we are instructed to spend this. We've put in the plans. The plans are already there. We've just got them into where how that should be spent. And that's now going to be operationalized. And
the 8 million kina allocated by the national government will be used to strengthen treatment facilities like the mobile diagnostic treatment in Daru.
I have alluded to that there's a lot of work that needs to happen and be done, but I think we are on the right track. And I think whoever wants to come in, there are many other folks who have good intentions who are coming in to help us, and we do need that sort of help.
The National Department of Health still need part of the 40 million kina funding to fully implement the emergency response plan. The National Department of Health and its implementing partners are doing their best to help contain the TB epidemic in Papua New Guinea. Marilyn Diaukatam, National EMTV News.
Papua New Guineans have been urged to maintain a healthy lifestyle to expand their lifespan. NCD Governor Paus Pakop says lifestyle diseases develop from unhealthy habits like their diet. Mr. Pakop says living an unhealthy lifestyle causes health risks and complications that reduces one's lifespan.
Your lungs will fail time you be practicing the second lifestyle. Now, in this country now, that's an increasing number of deaths resulting from lifestyle disease. You must take action on stopping this one. To take action, government can do what it can, health department can do what it can, the clinical doctors will be there for you, will try their best to save you. But
You're watching National EMTV News. Veteran journalist Veronica Hatutasi launches her book about the Bougainville Civil War. Stay with us for that story after the break. Welcome back to National EMTV News. The development of human resource remains a priority for North Wagi district of Jiwaka province. This has been reaffirmed following the payment of subsidies for students attending the University of Papua New Guinea. Over 100 students attending UPNG have benefited from this subsidy, valued at over 180,000 kina, funds from the district's DSIP. Local MP Dr. Fabian Pok said students in other tertiary institutions, including TVETs, will also benefit. Assistance will also be provided to students who wish to further their education overseas.
Universities and colleges throughout Papua New Guinea that not Wagi students go to, it amounts to 1.5 million every year.
With over 700 species of birds in the country, Papua New Guinea is yet to capitalize on bird watching as an ecotourism product. Officers from Conservation and Environment Protection Authority say bird watching can generate a constant cash flow depending on the number of visitors and fees charged. The option is available for communities in the protected national parks and conservation areas.
The Varirata National Park outside Port Moresby will be the fenced-in central province to utilize bird watching as an ecotourism option. With the help of Japan International Cooperation Agency and the Conservation and Environment Protection Authority, or SEPA, the local Koyari landowners can develop bird watching hotspots among different activities suitable for ecotourism at the Varirata National Park. SEPA project coordinator Frederick Omana said this terrestrial biodiversity conservation project is not new in PNG and it can be a tourism attraction package.
This bird watching project and ini lo SEPA JICA project come up here now lo lalokin Sirinumu catchment. It would be a first of a kind itself lo here lo around this area here.
With over 700 bird species found in PNG, bird watching remains an option many people have yet to tap into. Money can be generated based on the number of visitors and fees charged and can be an option for ecotourism.
This particular activity, bird watching, it's definitely it will have a good revenue generation.
Quinten Alomp, National EMTV News.
Veronica Hatutasi's book, titled Behind the Blockade, has been described as an important historical account of the Bougainville Civil War. During the launch of the book last Friday, Simon Pentano, Speaker of the Bougainville House of Representatives, said the blockade years were the most atrocious and the time when most lives were lost during the 10-year conflict.
Before he officially launched the book, Simon Pentano said this book will help with the ABG's efforts in reconciliation exercises in the region. He made special mention of the chapter that covers the CY sub-crisis.
There has really been nothing very substantive written by anyone on the CY sub-crisis. Some of the reconciliation out of that crisis are still going on. The book may be used to actually for people to look through and compare some of the things they still keep in their memory in trying to arrange further reconciliation.
Pentano agreed with sentiments that there are many more stories of the blockade years that need to be told and must be told.
This is the period that is full of materials and memories that are unwritten, maybe for future writers.
I know there are many more stories from other parts of Bougainville waiting to be told. Some may be told, others may be too sensitive at this point in time.
Anna Solomon used to be Veronica's boss at Word Publishing. Also at the launch was Word Publishing Board Chairman Father Janus Scott Nidsney.
It is a record of pain, fear, anxiety, love, courage, and care.
Father Janus said the book has many messages, one of which is for big companies.
To remember that the people with the whole traditional and spiritual context should be put before the profit.
Sarah Aupong, National EMTV News.
You're watching National EMTV News. Trukai Sports is next. Infrastructure development in Kimbe for the 7th PNG Games. That story and more after the break. Don't go away.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. Kimbe Town is slowly transforming with the current infrastructural development in preparation for the 7th PNG Games. Operations Manager Freddie Mates says the Games have also provided opportunities for the town's rundown sporting facilities to be upgraded, and it leaves a window of opportunity for West New Britain to host any future sporting events.
With just 9 months remaining till the 7th PNG Games, the host organising committee in Kimbe Town are depending on the contractors to carry out all infrastructural developments in time for a successful PNG Games. While Kimbe has been posed as one of the most challenging towns to host an event to cater for over 1,000 athletes from 22 provinces, Operations Manager Freddie Matthews remains optimistic.
Main focus at this point is infrastructure. 9 months out. Obviously, yes, there is concerns of whether the games will be hosted on time, but I think that's normal for people to think. I think 9 months is enough time for us to push forward with the games.
With the construction work yet to kick off on all venues, including the 4 satellite venues, already work has begun on setting the foundation.
Nivani is our major construction site, guys. They've given us a plan as to build this 3,500-seater stadium and sort out the satellite venues as well. Because we've discussed with our contractors that we want the venues to be completed by September. Gives us 2 months to sort of touch up on final things and look at other preparations as well, apart from the infrastructure.
Faced with logistical challenges, this year's games may not include all sports. Matthews says the HOC is currently set on 24 sports, including 4 para-sports with events like swimming and squash, obvious exclusions.
I think our biggest challenge at this stage is the transporting of teams to particular venues that we have. We need these 4 venues to push through the games and make sure we finish in that 2-week period. At the moment, we've got 24 sports with 4 para sports. Obviously, with the venues we have, we don't have certain facilities to host games like swimming. We sort of get to choose which sports we can and can't do.
Lorraine Genia, National EMTV Sports.
Meanwhile, PNG Sports Foundation Executive Director Peter Chiamalili Jr. confirmed the national government's support of 5 million kina for the 7th PNG Games. 4 million kina was for sporting venues upgrade, while the remaining is for operations.
From the national government, we'll be giving 5 million. 5 million will go towards the infrastructure. 1 million of that will go towards obviously the technical aspect of the games, because we run the technical aspect. 4 million will directly go into the infrastructure, where the HOC, the host organizing committee, identifies and have got everything in place, and we just facilitate those infrastructure build up. Yeah.
Was promised we get 10 million from the national government through Sports Foundation. Obviously that hasn't come through, but Western Britain has passed its budget for the province, and of course a lot of our allocations and funding will come from the Western Britain government.
The National South's Basketball League is the biggest basketball off-season competition in the country. Having boasted 40 teams that competed in the competition in the previous years, they received 25,000 kina from Foy Landowners Association.
A cheque of 25,000 kina was presented to the National South's Basketball League by Foy Landowners Association. The support came as a timely boost to the NSBL as this year's competition looms.
South Basketball League. Sports is something that it gives peace and harmony in the community here.
He further added that the main purpose of the competition was to expose and bring raw young talent from the rural villages of Kutubu to play in town and city competitions.
I can't play on this level. That's why me looking, he got opportunity. By the time we come to this league, I can take my boys from the village, from Kutubu.
The NSBL has been criticized about the competition, but it amplifies its status year in, year out.
Our South Basketball League, it's a recognized body by the National Basketball Federation in this country. We have Nick Darwa, we are affiliated to the National Basketball Federation in this country, and it's one of the biggest off-season basketball competition in Oceania. We have about 40 teams, with sometimes 20 male, 20 female, participating in one off-season competition.
However, the association is talking with certain sporting boards in Port Moresby to see if there are possibilities of hosting this year's competition in one of the new sporting facilities, particularly the newly opened Taurama Aquatic Center. This year's competition will start on the 5th to the 8th of March, and 25 teams have confirmed their participation. Shane Saroya, National EMTV Sports.
An agreement with the PNG Sports Foundation and Sports Ministry has opened the doors for all sporting venues in the nation's capital. They are now open for public use. Pacific Games Authority Chairman Sir Costas Constantino has announced.
After 3 years of construction work, renovating and upgrading, the new-look sports facilities in Port Moresby were finally officially open to the public for use as of yesterday. Sports Minister Justin Chichenko made mention at the opening the government's continuous support over the next 5 years to ensure the Sports Foundation, who overlook all sporting venues and infrastructure in the country, are well accounted for.
Government has committed to fund and manage and staff these venues for the next 5 years.
Chichenko said this was to ensure the facilities are maintained and looked after, with the end result having the facilities self-sufficient and self-sustained.
At the end of the day, the government's not going to allow these facilities to crumble down like before. We must support them and fund them into the future, but we would like to see these facilities get enough revenue.
Meanwhile, Executive Director of the PNG Sports Foundation, Peter Chamlili Jr., said the opening of venues and availability of use for the public is part of the Foundation's plan to generate cash flow and revenue from each of the venues.
These are all part of the plan. We haven't done anything outside of the plan, but by now operating and getting the general public coming through, we'll have first-hand experience. And so we'll do a review again after 6 months of some of the challenges that we faced and some of the things that we could see that we could change a little bit.
Maintaining these sports facilities is an expensive exercise. The Foundation not only has to ensure it is maintained but managed well. This will be their biggest challenge in the coming years.
25,000 just to be able to run. And that's probably, I'm probably being conservative on that price, but on that cost.
Lorraine Genia, National EMTV Sports.
And that ends Trukai Sports for tonight. We'll have the weather details for the next 24 hours after the break.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
Here's a quick look at the weather for the next 24 hours. First of all, in the southern region, Port Moresby, a shower or two. To the Momase region, Lae, you can expect some showers. To the New Guinea Islands, Lorengau, fine weather over the next 24 hours. And in the Highlands region, Mount Hagen, Goroka, Kundiawa, Mende and Wabeg, you can expect a few showers over the next 24 hours. And that's how we end today, Sunday the 28th of February 2016. On behalf of the EMTV News team, have a pleasant working week. Good night.